Hello everyone. So this will be our first video, and you'll have a ton of videos in this class. Sometimes they'll be just really short demos just to kind of give you guys a little example of what we're going to be doing. A lot of times I'll explain it to, or I'll write it in an email. In this case, these are just two little icebreaker drawings that I would do probably in a normal first class, an in-person first class. But I think that you could do them on your own and at least get the idea going. So I touched on the first one with scribbling. And Natalie, if you come down here, if we think about scribbling, okay, sometimes when you tell people to scribble, they don't know what to do. So they're just kind of scribbling like, what do you mean scribble? Well, if you think about expressive line or singing or voices, think about a figure skater doing a routine out on the ice. You want to sort of explore your rectangle here. You might go darker, you might go smaller, bigger strokes, medium strokes, swirling, straight lines, curvilinear lines. So actually, the more you practice at it, the better you get at it. So you would think, boy, scribbling's not that hard, but really, it's an art, and it takes a while to get really comfortable scribbling. And again, for some of you, it might be uncomfortable scribbling because you feel like you're not doing anything. But it's almost like when a singer is warming up or something, they're just kind of stretching, or when a figure skater is warming up. They're not necessarily doing a routine, they're just kind of moving around the ice. And they're trying some twirls and tighter turns or whatever. So that's the idea. By the way, all you're going to need for this exercise is just a pencil and some paper. It could be the back of an old sheet of paper. If you've got some copy paper at home or in your room, that's great too. Nothing fancy. Okay, I'm just going to flip this over. Now the first exercise I'm going to do is I'm going to try to scribble, and you can practice scribbling for a while before you do this. But I'm going to try to scribble in a shape about the size of a lemon. And then my wife, who's videoing this, Natalie, thank you, Natalie, is going to come up with an animal, and I'm going to try to turn that ball of scribble into that animal. And again, it's like what we talked about in our synchronous session today when we tried to visualize the rabbit and what that rabbit might look like. So I'm going to continue to scribble as I do it, though. So it'll be kind of a scribbly rabbit, but I'm going to slowly try to, or whatever it is, whatever Natalie tells me, I'm going to slowly try to get that ball of scribble to start to look like the animal. Now you might get a friend or a family member or somebody who waits about a minute or two and then tells you the animal so that you don't know it ahead of time. Okay, so here's how it's going to go. So I'm just going to scribble, just kind of meander for a while, about the size of a lemon. Okay, just kind of nothing too dark. I don't want to get too crazy because I'm going to have to change this. Okay, and then now Natalie's going to give me an animal.
Bird.
Okay, so with the bird, I'm thinking probably vertical. Now I keep that scribbling going. If I have to make smaller lines and smaller movements, I may slow down. Once I start to kind of understand or get satisfied with the animal, I can start to kind of sustain or commit. If you remember that, this was starting to look kind of like a pigeon. If you remember that example I gave you from Kathy Kolowitz, where as she started to become more satisfied with her drawing of herself, okay, she can start to actually draw some of the, like the talons or the legs and feet on the bird. Okay, we can come in here. Okay, and I can start to slow it up. Maybe I got these tail feathers here, kind of coming down. Got my wire, my branch that the bird is on. Okay, let's get this wing developed a little bit. Notice how I'm still scribbling. I'm trying to keep that active scribbling going. Very, very important part of this. And it is going to look scribbly. You could always clean this up later. But this is just a great way to kind of generate an idea and to build a form. Let's put the bottom of the beak, the top of the beak. Okay. Now I'm kind of getting to the point where I probably, if I were going to do a longer drawing, I probably would start slowing down and erasing a little bit and putting in more information. So you kind of get the gist of it, that I really didn't slow my pencil down much at all. I'm just kind of pointing around and just trying, and I darken where I feel like I want to try to pull out a wing or the breast of the bird, the head, get the kind of jowl, and I have to slow down here. Notice how I was holding my pencil like this the whole time. You can hold it the way you write, that's fine, but you might find it actually a little bit better to have a little less control so that you're more inclined to scribble and not slow down and make slow movements. So we're really looking for a scribbled animal that comes out of a ball of scribble. So simple as that. It should take you about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the most, okay? Now, because of time, we want to keep this video going. I am going to go ahead and draw the next one. Now this one is going to be a drawing that is sort of modeled after Jasper John's painting called 1 through 9. And what it is it's a stream of consciousness. So whenever we're going to do like bubble numbers, so whenever I get to a 4, okay, I'm going to make a 4 like that, but I'm not going to put the inside in there. When I get to an 8, I'm going to do it like that, but I'm not going to put the inside, just so I can keep that line going. A 9 might look like that, but I'm not going to do the inside, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of take a breath here, and I'm going to try to visualize my numbers before I start drawing them. I want them to take up a good part of my paper here, okay? So I get myself nice and relaxed. All right, I don't want to sketch. I want it to be a continuous, unbroken line. So I don't want you to pick up your pencil. I don't want you to sketch at it. I want you to just keep moving. If you have to go slow, that's fine. If it takes you 3 or 4 times to get it right, that's fine too. So this is the example. All right, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's my 8, and finally my 9. Okay, I'm going to do that one more time. All right, just so you don't have to rewind it. Okay, 1, 2, not a very good 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so that's 1 through 9. So we've got a scribble drawing here that is going to be a few minutes or a minute or two of scribbling in the size of a lemon, and then have somebody tell you the name an animal, name an animal, and then from your mind you're going to try to convert that scribble into a scribbled animal as best you can, and it's your own version. This is not like a contest. You're not going to get a bad grade if you don't do well, but do try to keep that scribbling going. Don't switch into a different, slower mode. And then over here, we are looking to just create bubble numbers without the insides, 1 through 9. And what's important here is that the line is never broken, and that you are having to anticipate that stream of thought, how to create the next one before you're even finished with the previous. So do your best job there, and if you want to, you can do your full name or your first name or whatever too. But these are both great exercises as icebreakers and to kind of get the ball rolling with this class. So those are going to be due Wednesday. And if anybody has any questions, as usual, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy these drawings. Thank you.